What's it like to transition at nearly 50? Hi, I'm Sarah, and I transitioned a year and a half ago at 48. Um, Everything went amazingly smoothly. I know a lot of people in their 20s are like, I'm too old. Like, I'm nearly 50, things went smooth. Um, Now, none of our situations are ever the same. So, like, there are certain things that I was lucky about, like very little brow ridge, like minimal hairline loss. I thought it was actually a lot worse than it was. I actually even briefly like got hats because I was like, oh, I need to wear hats. Now they're more silly now than like I don't do that because like for all that it would be nice if I had a lower hairline, like if I got FFS or something, like it's not a big deal. Um, the only real big deal was gray hair doesn't work with lasers, so I had to switch to electrolysis after I got like the 75% of the facial hair that was dark. And I dye my hair with henna because my spouse is bothered by chemicals, and powdered henna bothers him a little bit, but not as much as most other things. So it also matches my kids' hair exactly, which is interesting because I never actually had red hair. Um, yeah, like I actually thought about transitioning years ago. So it wasn't 100% new. Like in 1999, I had a girlfriend who would dress me up and take me out to clubs, and I super liked it. Like it wasn't a sexual thing, it was like, it felt very comfortable, and I really liked it. They got me like stretch pants. I wore them to my last year at university in my 20s. I went to UC Berkeley. Um, here, here's a picture of what I look like in 1999, dressed up when we went to clubs. Now, I wouldn't have thought that I could have like done that at work, right? Like, I didn't really quite realize that one could transition like that. Now, about 2007, I dated a trans woman. Um, at that point, I sort of knew it might be possible. I didn't think I could do it because I was like, I don't look good enough. Like, oh my God, like I looked at a few pictures, got super dysphoric about it, and sort of gave up on it. And it took another 15 years until like married with a kid on a farm, a lot of stress in my life. My spouse had a bunch of health crazies. In the middle of all this stress, it was Halloween time, and my spouse was like, you should dress up like you used to for Halloween. We'll do like Jesse and James from Pokemon. And I was like, I don't know. If I dress up, I don't think I'm going back. And I dressed up, and I'm like, whoa, like somehow it works. I had lost a lot of facial muscle due to exercise. Um, and everything lined up exactly where it's like, I can do this. Um, so I told work I was transitioning, and it took me a month before I even realized about hormones and laser and all those things. And it actually went really smooth. Like I went to school pickup for my kid, and like nobody gave me weird looks. And it's not like a particularly liberal school district. Everything just went smoothly. I don't think that's a typical experience. Um, I did have awkwardness at the grocery store, like in those months that I first was like wearing dresses and things. Um, but like at 3, 4 months in, it was the point where if I didn't put on makeup and a dress, I might get a weird look. So then it sort of shifted me over to like doing things that more. Um, I don't know. Went very smoothly. Now the rest of my life isn't 100% smooth, um, but it's good to know that it is possible to transition later in life and not have it be a big thing. The only big thing is electrolysis is slow and painful, and if you can't do laser, because in my case I did laser for a year, but it was like 80% of my facial hair, so I've been doing electrolysis every week. I'm doing it later today. And I probably have months and months of it left, but I don't shave at all, so like it's, you know, like there's a little bit of scruff down here, but they do pull it all out, so it would look a lot worse if I skipped a couple weeks. But every week it comes back thinner, and it'll hopefully be pretty much gone soon. Um, my upper lip is pretty much gone, so yeah, it's not as bad as you would think for this late in life. There's gray hair, there's hair loss. I was kind of lucky on those things. Um, there's everything in one's life, but I didn't have friends. I think I had a DPRD, which is like a dissociative order. I'm not diagnosed with it, but looking it up, I had very little self-image. So I never really had friends pre-transition because I didn't really have a self-concept. I wore sort of scruffy, beat-up clothes because I didn't care what I looked like. So after transition, like makeup and everything came really easy for some reason because I finally had this self-image. But I didn't like risk losing friends or anything. Like, yeah, my spouse had some problems. They're queer and agender, so it wasn't that it was trans. It's like they just can't really relate to femininity. But for the most part, everything went super smooth. My kid really relates because he's a little bit gender diverse himself, although he says he's not. He gets misgendered as a girl all the time. He says he's a boy. My hair now matches his, and like he likes to be like, we look exactly the same, but he does say he's still a boy. I don't know. It's always funny on here to see like the younger women who are like, I don't know if I can transition because I'm in my 20s. And it's like, yeah, maybe your hips aren't going to get wider, but like, even that, like, the fat redistribution is pretty amazing on estrogen. Like, it takes about a year and a half before you really see a lot of those effects. The first couple months is all muscle loss, which is like really fast, and then things are a lot slower.